I talk with him. I tell him things. I ask for his advice. I ask for his help. He used to say this phrase, "Mom, don't tear your heart out." That's why I try not to cry. But it doesn't always work. Rags. I have special rags for this. The sculpture was made by Konstantin Selikhanov. His grandfather was a world-renowned sculptor from Belarus. Konstantin is very talented sculptor. And Alexei Galyakov, the architect, he had to calculate for the grave to fit his father's. It's done very nicely. I am deeply grateful to Konstantin for taking up this project and doing it exactly as it should be. It fits Pavel's character. This line is from the Bible. It was Pavel's life motto. And he said it to everyone. No strength in strength. The strength is in the truth. That's why we wanted to engrave these words. Let's go. I watch his lectures with great pleasure, even these days. I went to a lecture at the European Humanitarian University together with him. So I sat there and listened to it. There were students and lecturers. I observed from the audience. There were many people. Some of them were looking at their computer screens. And then I see this. Laptops being shut down, the heads rising, eyes gleaming. The lecture was indeed so interesting that when I saw him after, I said, "Pasha, look, you need to be a lecturer. You manage to engage the audience. You say interesting things and you say them beautifully." And he said, "Mom, maybe later. I'm not ready for this yet. I could call them idiots today, but I can't do that."
Значит, белорусская школа. Перестаньте скандалить. Здесь не Белоруссия. Понимаете, здесь с порядком пока проблемы. И слава Богу, понимаете? А то уже приехали белорусы из концлагеря, вырвались, уже ходят. Так что такое? Почему здесь нет порядка? Ну-ка быстро проинформируйте нас, что здесь происходит параллельно. Что в соседней комнате, что где? Не могу понять. Я белорусская демократка, требую порядка.
Все, что он делал, все, что он писал.
Everything he did, everything he wrote, I support fully.
Поддерживаю, потому что это действительно
I support it fully because it really is a true civic stance, and he never abstained from it. And nothing, not the money, because some change when they need money, would change the way he is. He would just say, there's no strength in strength, the strength's in the truth. And he always fought for this truth, and he loved his country very much. He loved it and visited it.
Liudmila, it's been 2 years since Pavel was killed. How do you feel today?
Like I did the first day, nothing has changed.
And what is the feeling like?
What can it be like? A terrible loss, a loss of the closest person to me, of my child.
Has your life changed in these 2 years?
On the exterior, of course, it hasn't. Everything stayed the same. The only thing is that I left my job because of my age and because I was just tired. However, I am very grateful to my co-workers and my manager who did everything so that I could stay for longer. But on the inside, of course, it has changed. Today it feels like I live in some sort of vacuum, as in everything that goes around me just goes past me. And I'm here inside this bubble just observing the flow of life, of people, of everything around.
You've said you've met with Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko twice. Can you tell us what happened during these meetings?
Yes, we met up twice. Those meetings were uneasy for me, of course. And it wasn't just Poroshenko. Everyone responsible for the investigation process was there. I only heard from them their wish to resolve this case. That it's a matter of honor for Mr. Poroshenko. He repeated that many times, that it's a matter of his honor and that he really wants the case to be resolved. Well, I believe him.
In your opinion, why have Pavel's murderers not been found yet?
I don't know.
Has it crossed your mind that someone could...
I wouldn't want to, for reasons that it's hard or there is something else hindering the process. For an innocent person to suffer, to show that, look, we've resolved the case, but... In reality, because these things happened in the past, and in Ukraine too, I don't believe that that's the way things are, and they don't know who ordered the murder.
Do you think it's possible that it's just not in someone's interest?
They blew him up, so of course it was in someone's interest. I just want to know who that person is who was so scared. I've said this before. How scared do you need to be, and how much do you need to hate my son to take away his life in such a gruesome way?
If the perpetrators are found, what would you want for them?
You know, my son is no longer with us, so to me, it doesn't matter that much what's done to the perpetrator, as long as it's in compliance with the law. provided the law exists and is operational in this country, I don't need someone else's life to be taken.
Did you watch Hromadske's investigative film Who Killed Pavel?
Мне, да, конечно. Вот это я считаю один из самых.
Yes, of course. I think that it's one of the... I'm very grateful for the film's creator.
Фильм, конечно, я очень благодарна.
To all the people who did so much work, and such important work.
Очень огромную, серьезную, и я бы сказала...
Dangerous work, I would say, in today's environment. But they did it in a very frank and professional way.
И очень профессионально.
Why do you think the journalists managed to do this work? Did you see Petro Poroshenko after the film or before?
Both before and after.
Did you speak about the film?
I didn't talk to him about the film, no.
And he didn't mention it either?
Я единственное, что спросила, вы гарант, вы говорите о...
No, the only thing I said to him is, you say that this is a matter of honor and you really want the case to be resolved, but Interior Minister Mr. Avakov said that the case is very serious and belongs to the 7% of cases that don't get resolved. But I still don't have the answer to what he meant. All I gathered is that this case won't be resolved.
But if the journalists accomplished so much, they even identified the number plate.
Да, а вот это уже к следователям, к генеральному прокурору, прокуратуре,
Yes, that's the question for the investigators, for the general prosecutor and his office, who are supposed to answer all these questions. But I think they commented on this before, that they conducted something that, yes, there's that car and there was a person inside the car, but he just guarded someone. But this, of course, is not a serious explanation, in my opinion. But I'm not an expert.
And today, do you have any concrete questions that you want to ask the investigators?
Не хочу вообще. Не хочу вообще.
I don't want to at all. I don't want to discuss anything with them any longer. I don't want to.